Welcome to WagerTalk TV. I am Kelly Stewart at Kelly in Vegas on Twitter, and this is Ask the Experts. Teddy Covers to the right of me at Teddy_Covers on Twitter, and Marco D'Angelo at Marco in Vegas. Okay, we have a question from Stu. How soon is too soon to make a Week 1 NFL or college football bet, or is it all determined on if you think the line will move in your favor? So we all know Cantor, Golden Nugget, all these places are putting out these lines, and it's May. They're going to be out for a couple of months before they even become really, truly relevant. I know there's some value to be found, but Stu wants to know how you determine that.
Honestly, I mean, if you're betting the openers, there's value all over the place. If you're talking about the lines that are stale now, a week, a month, 2 months in, you know, I mean, if you see a line moving in one direction, there's no reason not to get involved. But at the same, because lines that once they start moving one way, they tend to move that way indefinitely over the course of the summer. But after that initial flurry, the lines pretty much sit flat between now and August. There's not a ton of daily action. So it's not like there's a huge urgency to get to the betting window.
Marco, do you bet some of these early on because you think that the line's going to move in your favor, or what is your reasoning behind betting early college football or NFL?
Well, obviously you're going to look at a situation if a number's sitting on a key number, and you do think that's going to go off of the key number.
That's the one bet that I made for the NFL. You know, I bet the Colts plus 3.5 against the Chargers right when it opened because I knew that the 3.5 wasn't going to be there, and it's not. You know,
that's the time to do it. Yeah. Personally, I'll be honest. I'm not somebody that likes to have my money tied up for 4 months. You know, doing it in May. You know, waiting to come to the first week of the season. If there are some spots that I will look at, it's the teams that got all the hype because they're going to be overpriced. But as Teddy said, you got to be there at the windows when those open up.
Which is why when Tony does it over at the Golden Nugget, you can have 3 bets and you're back to the back of the line because he's not going to let one person beat it all up.
Everybody's going to look at those teams. And, you know, I like to look at new coaching hires. When it's a big name coach and he's moving somewhere else, there's always that expectation it's going to be instant result. It's not going to be. You got to remember in college football, he can't magically change that roster. He's inherited a roster that was from the former coach, and it might not be the same style of offense or defense, and you've got players that are not playing to that scheme, and there's going to be a learning curve, or you're putting in a lot of young players early because he recruited that year to get them for his system, and it's not it's a work in progress. You can take advantage of that, but again, as Teddy said, those numbers are going to get hit as soon as they're open because everybody's going to have that same thought process. So you got to be down at Vegas, be in line, take your 3 whacks, and get back in line.
And it's definitely worth noting, a lot of the initial moves that you see, if you're only looking at one sports book, that's a mistake because what you're going to see is arbitrage. One book's going to open 6, one book's going to open 1, and then the market's going to decide which of the lines they like better. And you say, oh my God, this is huge 5-point move. No, it's just a little bit of arbitrage, and it doesn't take many bets to move a number.
Very good point we saw last year with Notre Dame, Michigan.
Yeah, a couple of bets moves the number big time, right off the bat. So don't be fooled by a line move that looks huge. Maybe it's not quite that big.
Okay. Go ahead.
NFL,
Sorry, Marco, last point.
Give one for the NFL. Where I will make an early wager for week 1 of NFL is after the second week of the NFL preseason because people got to see 2 games and they buy into the hype. You know, there might be, there's going to always be a couple teams that start out 2-0 and look good, but you have to remember in preseason, certain coaches play to win. Certain coaches don't care. And if you happen to get one of those hype teams, and of course the hype team this year is going to be the Cleveland Browns. If they come out and look good those first 2 games in preseason, and they are playing to win, establish that attitude and everything, the public's, you know where the public's going to go.
Listen, honestly, if you want to bet the Browns, bet them today. Bet them right now because that line can only go up. I agree with that. You know, that's the one team that stands out like a sore thumb in that regard.
Yeah, and you know, last year there were teams that got the hype and they fell on their face. The new coaching hire of Gruden, he's going to instantly turn that team around? No, especially whenever you deal away your best defensive player.
Oh, poor Gruden. All right, guys, $9 Monday. Every Monday at WagerTalk, all daily packages for Monday's action, plus NBA, MLB, NHL, priced at only $9. That includes any 5% best bets, normally priced at $30.